Hi everyone, Anthony Morganti here. Over the years, I have gone on record saying that most of you should have the specific Lightroom Classic catalog setting turned on. Invariably, there isn't a week that goes by that I don't receive an email from someone telling me that some notable photographer somewhere in the world says that everyone should have that setting off. And usually they'll give me reasons that that photographer gives for why that setting should be off. And really, they're all valid reasons. There are reasons why you may want that setting off. So this isn't for everyone, but I really truly believe it's for most of you. You should have this setting on. And in today's video, I'm going to make my final case for why you should have this catalog setting turned on. Now, to get to catalog settings in Lightroom Classic on a Mac, you go up to the Lightroom Classic menu. It's under the Edit menu if you have a PC. Catalog settings, the specific setting I'm talking about is under the Metadata tab, and it's this one, automatically write changes into XMP. By default, that will be off. I think most of you should have that turned on. And here is why. Why you should create XMP files. Now, first of all, let us understand that Lightroom really consists of two distinct entities. You have the Lightroom catalog and you have the Lightroom library. The Lightroom library, your images, that's easy, right? It's just your images, nothing more. The Lightroom catalog, I think many of us take for granted or we don't really think about, but the Lightroom catalog is very, very important. The catalog contains all your image edits. Lightroom is a non-destructive editor. That means that it doesn't write directly to any of your images. That image could be a RAW file, JPEG, TIFF, PSD, any image file you have in your library does not get written to. All those edits are kept in the catalog. Also, all the metadata is kept in the catalog. The metadata is location info, the date and time you took the image file name, keywords. Also, if you gave it a flag, a pick flag or a reject flag, or if you gave it a star rating or a color label, all of that is metadata. All of that is kept in the catalog. None of that gets written directly to the image. Also, the catalog contains your previews. Your Lightroom previews are all kept there as well. Now, it's been my experience that most of you, not a great majority, but most of you use Lightroom Classic on a laptop or a MacBook. And you have your images on an external hard drive. Also, a small percentage of you use Lightroom Classic on a desktop, but you still keep those images on an external hard drive. But you keep the catalog in its default location, which is the internal hard drive of the computer. That's fine. It's usually in the Pictures folder. And that's fine. And Lightroom does come up, or does have built into it, backup capabilities where it will back up your catalog. It doesn't back up your images, it just backs up your catalog. The problem with Lightroom's catalog backup routine is by default, it puts your catalog backup in the same folder as your catalog. So if your computer crashes, or you spill water on it, or your hard drive just goes, or whatever, computer gets stolen, you've lost all your edits, you lost all your metadata, you lost all your previews, and you lost the backup as well. Now, again, this isn't probably for everyone. If you have your catalog properly backed up, meaning it's kept on an external hard drive, a different hard drive, I should say, than where the catalog resides, and it's also kept off-site, then you don't have to worry about clicking those XMP files. But if you do click those XMP files, or you have them created, right, the edits get written to the library as well, but not directly to those images. A separate sidecar file, a .xmp file, is created in the same folder as the image, and all the edits and metadata as well are written to that XMP file. So you have it getting written twice. And this is one of the reasons why many photographers say you should not create XMP files, because it takes longer. You have to write your edits twice, to the catalog and to the XMP file. You have to write metadata twice, to the catalog and to the XMP file. But it's been my experience that you don't even notice the difference in speed. The files are very small, 1 kilobyte usually. If you do a lot of extensive edits and a lot of different keywords and metadata, maybe 10 kilobytes. So most modern computers could write a 1 or 10 kilobyte file in like microseconds. So I don't think most of you will see a performance problem. So that could be a reason though, if your computer is old or something going on with it where it takes a real long time to write those XMP files, then you may not want to do it. But you better properly back up your catalog, because if your catalog crashes and you lose all those edits and all that metadata, and you don't have a good backup, and you didn't create the XMP files, you lost it forever. But if you created those XMP files, all you need to do is when you get your new computer or you get your new hard drive, just reinstall Lightroom, start it from scratch, create a new catalog, and then in that new catalog, import all those images that are on your external hard drive that also contain the XMP files. All your edits will come with it, all the metadata comes with it. So it's as though you never left. So when you open up a folder and you have an image you created 10 years ago and you edited 10 years ago, all those edits will be there. That's the main reason why I say most of you should create XMP files, because quite frankly, most of you don't properly back up your catalog. And most of you do probably back up your images. Even if you have your images on the internal hard drive with the catalog, you're backing up your images, but you're not backing up the catalog. So it's not for everyone, granted. If you have a really slow computer, don't do it. Make sure you properly back up the catalog though. And everyone, regardless. Now I properly back up my catalog. I have my images on an external hard drive. I have those properly backed up. When I say properly backed up, I mean my catalog is kept on a different hard drive locally and it's kept in the cloud. My images are kept on a different hard drive locally, so 2 instances of images, and they're kept in the cloud. So I have everything backed up properly, but I also create the XMP files. It's just like another safety measure, another backup. And like maybe, all my equipment got stolen and I bought a new computer, but I don't have internet access yet, but I have my hard drive, like that. The hard drive of images didn't get stolen. Well, it has those XMP files, and I could just then re-import those into Lightroom, and all the edits and metadata come with it. So that's my case. And again, I do admit it's not for everyone. You have to make the decision whether or not you want to create those XMP files. And one note, if you have a Lightroom library of, thousands of images, and you've never created XMP files before, when you go in and check that box, what will happen is in the background, Lightroom will be creating XMP files for all those images, and it will take some time. And you may go to close down Lightroom and it will come up with a dialog box saying that Lightroom is creating XMP files. Do you really want to exit? You could exit. It will just start up where it left off when you reopen Lightroom. But it may take a while, depending on how big your Lightroom library is, for it to create all those XMP files. But once it does, then it just creates them on the run as you import new images. And it's, like I said, it doesn't really affect performance from what I found. So that's it. Thank you, everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.